Ajit Pereira, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Max Kegel, Director of the Bandaranaike International Diplomatic Training Institute, members of the head table, Ambassadors and High Commissioners Designate, Mr. Jaufer, Director General OAD, ladies and gentlemen. Let me at the outset thank the Bandaranaike International Diplomatic Training Institute for organizing this 2-week orientation program, in fact 10-day orientation program, for our new ambassadors and high commissioners who are expected to assume duties in 33 foreign capitals. I understand this program will include sessions that cover diverse aspects of diplomacy, consular functions, protocol, media policy, financial management, and security. I'm pleased that a great number of you are from the Foreign Service who possess extensive experience in diplomacy, while the others, their own expertise that fits the respective accreditations. I was told that the BIDTI has been organizing similar diplomatic training for nearly 20-odd years. I would like to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to underline some of the key policies and priorities of the new government that will be open for greater discussion in the next fortnight, in the next 10 days in this room. The people of this country, as you know, use their constitutional rights to convey a clear message to the policymakers and administrators in the presidential election held on the 8th of January. The clear mandate given to President Sirisena by the majority of people has created space to advance the core policies of the current government. At the January election, the people of this country chose transparent democracy, good governance, and the rule of law instead of tyranny, nepotism, and xenophobia. Our mandate includes, ladies and gentlemen, the uphill task of rebalancing the strained relations with our friendly countries. Our foreign relations were in a collision course under the former regime. The people of this country realized over the past few years that instead of isolation, disconnection, and mistrust, our country needs fostering engagement, connectivity, and trust with the outside world. To transform those common people's aspirations into reality, we have here our heads of missions designate at this orientation program. Some of you are going to work at our key missions and winning friends who have become unfriendly and winning new friends who have become among the emerging new economies will remain a daunting task. I must say your assignments, therefore, may carry the additional burden of bringing the message that we are serious in our diplomatic relations again. I expect you to report positive achievements in your tenure of duty in those important capitals. Your functions as head of missions will also play a crucial role in making Sri Lanka's future. The realization of the government's strong commitment to leap forward the economy will be an important task for you to contribute immensely. Our youth need productive employment and income growth. Our per capita income requires rapid increase. Your engagement does not therefore end at engaging with the interlocutors in the foreign ministries of your respective countries. You're expected to reach out to various stakeholders in the host countries. Those entities may range from the private sector, non-governmental sector, to professionals and academics. You will also have to negotiate favorable terms for our trade and investment activities. You will have to identify the niche areas in your accredited destinations from which our country can directly benefit for economic growth. In addition to promoting our traditional exports and services, such as tea and tourism, you're expected to capture the emerging high-tech industries that can bring benefits to our educated workforce. The past era of Sri Lanka's reputation as a difficult place to invest must be transformed to an investor-friendly, easy place for genuine entrepreneurs, protected by rule-based business environment without undue delays or interference, and no doubt without, of course, corruption. I repeat my mantra again that was aired in many forums around the world, that today we are determined to steer Sri Lanka to become an investor's paradise. You all will have to play a key role in achieving this goal. I'm also very keen to focus our attention on the expatriate workforce in the Middle East and other countries, as well as the diaspora. Our migrant workforce is playing a key role in the country's economic growth. As you know, nearly 2 million foreign workers who account for around 10% of the country's entire population and 25% of the labor force annually remit nearly 33% of our nation's foreign exchange. That amounts to nearly 9% of the GDP, out of which 60% comes from the Middle East. Therefore, providing public services to those people working hard in your host countries cannot be merely perceived as business as usual. Particularly in the Middle East, some of those people face employment contract violations, numerous hardships and violence. Some of them become victims of human trafficking. In such events, you have an important role to play by engaging with the host authorities through bilateral and multilateral instruments. Sri Lanka recently, as you know, ratified the Human Trafficking Protocol, under which you could work closely with other states' parties in case of any natural disaster or conflict situation. As the country's envoy, you will be at the center stage to organize rapid response. In fact, I wish to underline the role played by our mission in Kathmandu and the South Asia Division in the Foreign Ministry when the recent earthquake occurred in Nepal. The ability to coordinate with the multiple agencies provided to be an essential element in our diplomatic skills. Another element, ladies and gentlemen, is to engage with the diaspora irrespective of their ethnic, religious, or cultural orientation. The failed policies of marginalizing diaspora group needs to be revisited. In the process of ongoing reconciliation, we must find ways to start a dialogue with all the people of Sri Lankan origin. Their professional skills, entrepreneurship, and affinity to this country need to be utilized as a positive element to help rebuilding our economy and tattered unity. You are responsible to foster these important aspects will augur well for the future of our country. And I must say that President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe together have placed utmost trust in you to bring those changes to the country. I am, as a foreign minister, indeed very pleased to walk in that path along with you. Our current efforts to bring development and dignity to the war-affected people in the northern and eastern provinces remains an unfulfilled task. The people of those areas gave a clear message at the January elections that physical constructions merely do not bring prosperity and reconciliation. Our obligations to fulfill post-war accountability and reconciliation needs to be achieved locally with international support, and we are now in the process of working out even the contours of a domestic mechanism. And as heads of mission, we certainly will keep you informed of these developments in the next few weeks and months. We were given the clear message by the international community that many friendly countries are willing to help us in those areas. And I heard the same message when I recently visited other countries. But it is not really the message from the international community which drives me. It is our commitment to the people of this country, who has given us a mandate in January to work out the contours of such a mechanism, and also to expedite the reconciliation process in Sri Lanka. I understand that your orientation program includes a visit to the war-affected areas. I hope by directly engaging with the people of those areas, you will have an in-depth understanding of the major gaps that needs our focus. Any assistance to improve the livelihood of those people can bring changes to their lives and future of their children. I therefore encourage exploring such support from your countries of destination. I am also determined to improve the quality of our service at the Foreign Ministry and the missions abroad. The era of unending politicization and nepotism in the Foreign Ministry and Mission Administration ceased existence in January this year, and I can assure you that none of you will be invited to participate in the general election to be held soon. Even if you do, we will immediately chase you back to your respective countries. I'm aware that with these changes, the officers in the ministry and the missions abroad have regained their professional integrity. The creation of an environment conducive to serving our national tasks is in the remaking. We cannot draw our individual demarcations based on institutional boundaries in resolving problems. Instead, the public expectation should be the priority. I therefore urge your leadership in the missions to operate as one unit in coordination with the Foreign Ministry and other line agencies. My doors are always open for you to highlight any impediments that may jeopardize your official duties as heads of mission. In concluding my remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you fruitful discussions in the coming 10 days, and you will also have the opportunity to personally meet with President Sirisena and Prime Minister Wickremesinghe at the conclusion of this program. And it is my fervent hope that through the experience you will gain in the next 2 weeks at this forum, you will bring benefit to this country under the guidance of my ministry.